Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Casual Coders Podcast, where a bunch of us nerds sit around and talk nerd stuff. You know, I feel like this intro's already taken, but I can't quite put my finger on its toothy maw. Anyways, Kyle, what have you done this week?
What have I done this week?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I have messed up my sleep schedule.
I'm well aware of that one, buddy. That's not very fun.
It is the holidays, and
It is the holidays.
and so I was like, you know what would be super cool? What if I played like Ark Survival Evolved?
Oh
until,
no.
like,
Okay, yep, there's the time
5
sync.
a.m.
Yep, uh-huh. And now your sleep schedule is just gone down the drain,
Yep,
right?
exactly. So now
See, this here is why you need automated blinds that will force you to wake up at the right time.
you're totally right. Not only that, but it like acts as your alarm clock, right? So you made automated blinds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so tell me about the process. You just made them, right?
Actually, they've been in use for the better part of a year or so now. They originally started off as just super cheap little servo motors, just little Metal Gear servo motors. They were incredibly loud. I had to SLA print some little gears to give them enough torque to be able to open the blind, and that added even more noise and loudness.
It's
And
like your
then-
alarm clock. It just like clicks in the morning.
Oh yeah, no, it was loud enough that the whole house could hear it. It was hilarious.
Does that mean like
we
every
just skipped over introducing everyone?
Nah, we don't need that shit anymore.
yeah, you guys just
You guys just sit there. Kyle and I are going to
We're
talk for
here.
this one. All right, fine. We'll introduce people. So top right, we've got Chandler. Y'all know Chandler. He's one of the boys.
See your way out of it.
Bottom there, we got
Before
Quentin,
D
my
jumps
good
over
friend.
E and F's you up like a G.
All right. Let's introduce everyone. I'm Chandler.
Oh, boy.
We are joined today by, as you saw, Kyle and Ian. Today our special guest is Alex. I used to work with him at a company, which I just won't name, but we'll probably mention it later.
Dude, keep it secret.
And then Quentin, our other host, who wasn't here last week, but he is this week. So I don't, he's here this week.
He's just here. He's one of the boys, you know?
He's here. We're
One
doing
of
it
the boys.
virtually
One of the
for a
boys.
list of reasons. One of them is that I'm sick-ish.
And another reason
don't
is I'm on call for work, so I may have to leave randomly. Hopefully not.
So,
We're in the middle of a
But,
podcast
yeah,
and he just dips out like, yep, sorry guys, see ya.
Got a call.
So our special guest,
Oh,
tell us a
wow.
little bit about yourself.
Yeah, that's probably a good,
Hi.
better place to start.
I'm Alex. So let's see. I've been with this crew since I met Chandler at work, and then
2 years ago, I would say.
yeah, something like that. I was still in school. He was doing his co-op rotation at a company. I was finishing my last round of them. Found out he's a total nerd like me. We talk Linux all the time. He showed me all the good games and music, and then I met the rest of the crew here. I know I went to school with Kyle, so
Whoop, whoop.
we're just a good circle of nerds. He brought me on the podcast so I could learn a little bit. I listened to it. I'm the biggest fan, so I'm filling in as part of the Casual Coders. I definitely
He's the
do a lot
head of the
coding.
Casual Coders fan club.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking
Yes,
nerd.
yes. I write fan
Nerd.
scripts every single week. Yeah, just wanted to, chat with these guys. have
God,
a
is
fun
this where our
time.
fan fictions keep coming from? Come on, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta
well,
stop.
I mean,
you gotta stop.
Shoot, just dox myself. That's the theme of this podcast.
All right. Speaking of Linux stuff, I did something.
Well, I wanted to jump back
Uber-
to the blinds, but that's cool.
Oh, you know what? Jump back to your blinds. I'll get to my Linux shit after you're done with your blinds.
Yeah. So the blinds were just a 3D printed monstrosity. There was like a toothpick running through this SLA print, holding it together. It was super brittle and snapped a couple times, and it was just fishing line wrapped around some spools. I eventually got sick and tired of it being super loud, so I replaced it with stepper motors off 3D printers. They're a whole lot
was
quieter,
quieter.
and they've got a whole lot more torque, so they work a lot better. And I've just iterated that a couple times. And I'm
I'm
now
sorry,
at the
what
point
driver
where
are you using that it's quieter though? Because I remember when I first
Yeah.
got my 3D printer, the cheap Chinese drivers that were in it were so freaking loud.
yeah, so
play
freaking
music on
loud in
steppers.
comparison to a Metal Gear servo motor that costs 50 cents off Amazon. Oh my god, the stepper motor's so loud. Chandler,
I guess it's
they're a little loud, but they're nowhere near as deafening as the grind of Metal Gears inside a cheap 50-cent servo motor opening your blinds every morning. Yes, exactly. That's what it was. It was grrrr for 5 seconds every morning, and I just couldn't deal with it after a period of time. I was like,
Speaking
all right.
of Linux, doesn't your blinds run Debian?
No, they just straight. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, technically, they just run off a Raspberry Pi. The only reason I used the Pi is so it would connect to the internet and sync the blinds. So they open it perfectly the right time every morning off of my little Python script.
Wait, do they
Beautiful.
do you have them synced with like daylight? So like the second the sun rises, it opens? Or
Nope. It's
how does
just a
it work?
CSV file that is the schedule. It imports and reads that every midnight, which it doesn't actually do right now because I screwed up the code for that. Constants are fun. But yeah, it opens at midnight, the CSV file, reads it out, makes that the schedule, and then opens the blind at that time.
Huh.
Interesting.
And it's just stepper motors, so I can set a number of
It is a
steps
Python
over a
script.
period
You should
of
totally
time.
put that script on GitHub so I can look at it.
What
Yeah,
if I
is
say
it
no?
closed source?
Can I like charge for my
Are you
blinds?
embarrassed?
Yeah, I'm not
You can.
embarrassed. No.
There's
So
no
here's a
stopping
hot
you.
topic.
Oh, hot
Can
topic,
you write
yeah.
good Python code? Speaking of Python, is there such a
Oh,
thing as a
God.
good Python program? I still stand by it. I think that Python is great because it can do anything, just not well.
I just take
50%
a bunch of
well.
stuff
code-based
and throw it at
Python.
a wall
So,
and
like
see what
me?
sticks, right? I
Do anything
Just-
just not well.
yeah, cool.
Honest
I
Swiss
guess
Army
yeah.
knife.
Here's something that
It
Copilot
is.
suggested. Good enough.
One trip to IKEA and everyone's a fucking expert.
There is definitely a couple things that you can do. For example, like if you modularize your code and put it in like the different sections with the init and the
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Well, whose side are you on?
Yes, you could totally write good Python code. Can I write good Python code?
Yeah,
It's good enough. It works for its job. That's all that really matters.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's perfect at, filling a gap.
Yes,
Well,
exactly. It's like
as
the
I work-
prototype
Since I
gap
work for a
almost.
startup, our primary goal is to get the product out as quickly as possible. And if we didn't have Python, I really don't think we would be able to do that because we're able to get a working product in a few days rather than a few weeks.
Yeah,
So,
hold
like,
on. Let
I,
me
of
write
course,
some
am going to
highly
use Python.
optimized code for my $10 Raspberry Pi that controls my blinds. Oh man, it's
Well,
got to be
that's the thing, too.
nanosecond perfect, obviously.
Yeah, if you wake
Since
up a
we're working with
nanosecond
video
late, you're in
files-
big
man,
trouble.
yeah, I'm in big trouble.
Since we're working with video files anyway, like Python is not my bottleneck. So
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
just use it anyway. So because I'm working with gigabytes of files, and the bottleneck is network bandwidth. Even though we are running on AWS, so we have like 10 gigabit networking, it's still the bottleneck. So
That makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, it
I-
feels quick and dirty, but it can do a lot. I will give it that. I stand by it. I write Python projects. I just don't think any of them are good. I
I'm
would
pretty
show
sure
them
at
off.
work a handful of projects have been written in Python to do like testing and stuff.
It's also now like the most popular programming language, isn't it?
I think
It is, dude. They're teaching
My
yes, it
car. All right, here. No, scratch that. You can write great Python code. My car runs Python. OpenPilot is almost
Oh, that's right.
exclusively Python.
The interesting thing
Now,
about
would you
that,
trust it to keep you alive?
Yes. I have 5,000 or more miles on the system. Granted, the safety critical thing is C++, but we can
Right.
look over that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because the weird thing about the self-driving stuff that is written in Python, it's really like the Python arranges the C++ code that runs super optimized under the hood.
Well, the Python is the machine learning model, which then outputs a set of commands, and then I believe the C++
Those commands are
checks
C++.
those commands.
That's fair. I
No,
don't know a
they're
lot of
car
other machine
commands. They're
learning.
ODB commands directly to the devices in the car.
there are TensorFlow.
Oh wait,
bindings for
no.
JavaScript, but
There's like
nobody uses
there's an interpolation layer in there. There's OpenPilot commands. It says what it wants to do, and then another layer identifies what car it is and converts OpenPilot's commands to that car. So it's one model for everything, which outputs to another layer, which then decides which car, like which command
That
to
makes sense.
assign.
It's like the
Code
compiler.
appears to be made of
Yeah.
code.
What was that? I'm
Or
sorry.
Quentin,
Checks
like
out.
what are they talking
Yeah, I have no
about?
idea what the hell y'all are talking about.
Okay, I have a
code go
slightly
burr.
less nerdy topic once Python is done being discussed.
Yeah, that's probably good. We need less
I'm done with
nerdy
Python.
topics.
What is
done with
a
Python.
good metaphor for like a compiler though? Something that takes something and gives it something else.
Yeah, it's a black box that takes your spaghetti code and converts it to a language which your microcontroller can understand.
Yeah, it's
takes
like an
your spaghetti
architect
code
that
and converts
knows
it
what
to
you want your house to look
lasagna.
like and makes blueprints.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
code is lasagna. Yeah, my code ain't spaghetti. It's lasagna.
Yeah, your
Okay.
spaghetti code is
It's-
converted
it's
to
neat,
lasagna.
organized,
That'd be a really great
Layers.
skit. We
Excessive.
just like layer some code down in like a pan and stuff it in my oven, make some lasagna code.
You want to bake some code?
Yeah, dude.
You wanna wait? How are we gonna get this code? Are we gonna print it out on paper and stick paper in the oven?
No,
Or
no,
we 3D
use
print the
alphabet
code.
soup.
You're gonna like take it
That's
out
it.
and
No.
try the code, and it's like gonna be super buggy. Be like, oh nope, it needs more time in the oven.
Get a room full of monkeys.
This here's my programming oven. Just got to stick the code in and no, not even that. You
Programming
stick some
oven is
pseudo
my
code in
server.
and it sticks out some code once it finishes
That's
baking.
hot.
That's hot.
It's got perfect airflow that makes it conventional.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, yeah, it's an air fryer.
All right, so on
Oh,
slightly
man.
less nerdy topics, I wanted to discuss it said the worst games or the most disappointing video games of 2020.
So anything that Ubisoft has released?
Surprisingly, Ubisoft
Meow.
hasn't gotten that much heat. The big thing that I was and this is the game that I was the most disappointed in, was the new Battlefield. Made me very sad.
Oh, the one you got a
I was-
refund on.
Yes, the one
Yeah.
I was an idiot and I pre-ordered it.
Ooh,
There's your
yeah,
problem.
that does make you
And
an
I-
idiot.
Yes, it does make me an idiot. But
Does it make you an idiot if you can
Everyone
refund
was
it?
so mad.
Uh,
Steam was issuing refunds.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Wait, did Steam
So-
issue the refunds purely because of how negatively reviewed the game was?
yes.
Wow.
No
That's the
way.
first time I've seen that.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. What?
It was so bad reviews because like during the beta, everyone's like, "Oh, it's a beta. It's gonna have bugs." Nobody cared. But then when the game like actually came out and it was just as filled with bugs, if not worse than the beta.
Hey, at least
Everyone
you got a
was very
refund,
mad.
right? I purchased a game once. I played it for like, I don't know, 8 hours on Steam. Realized it wasn't really for me, even though I had a friend who was pushing me to play the game. Well, I don't know, like a week later, all the servers are offline and the game is just dead. I've pushed for a refund a handful of times on that game, and I've never seen my $22 left, like back.
$2.
It was
Ouch.
horrible. I hated it. I'm still salty about that game. Every time I see it in my
What game
library, I'm
is
like,
it?
"You
So
fucking
salty he
Tell us
won't
what
even
Dox
name
the
it.
game.
It's not on Steam anymore. We'll dox it. It's called Of Kings and Men. It's basically a shitty chivalry clone, and it's real bad. I mean, it had a cool principle. There was going to be like epics and stuff, so you were going to have like a whole bunch of people in one server all fighting each other in like, you know, medieval style.
Chivalry does
except for the
Of
fact
Kings and Men removed
that
from Steam is
it's
the number
really
one
bad
result.
and like it died super fast. There were a whole bunch of technical difficulties on launch, and then 7 days later, no one plays the game anymore.
Dang.
Interesting.
Warlock Wireless Limited. They just disappeared.
Yeah,
I think they did a cash grab.
yes, indeed, that they did.
Yeah,
Huh.
another game. Apparently, even though I enjoy, well, let me rephrase that. I like Halo, okay, and I don't hate Halo Infinite. I'm a little upset at the monetization scheme they're using. It's like $10 for a fucking voice pack. Like nobody's gonna pay that. Well,
Apparently,
they
people are
do.
getting really
Yeah, they do
salty
it
about the
otherwise.
whole
It works.
Halo thing, where like they're just grinding for the challenges. So like you get into a lobby, and then a bunch of people leave because it's not the right lobby for the challenge or something. Because I think
Yeah, well, the big-
there isn't their leveling system really broken where you barely get XP from anything other than the
Yes.
challenges. Yeah.
Yes, and while I have fun with Halo, the problem is I'm crap at it. So like every time,
Well, it's
I
called
play,
Get Good.
It's well, yeah. Sorry, I gotta get good. Every time I play, I do like really good during the bot matches, and then we go into a real match, and I just get my ass kicked. And like, yeah,
That's
I really
because you're
want to
playing
get back
against
into Halo,
bots.
but I've just been having so much more fun with Splitgate because I don't feel like ass when I play Splitgate.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah,
My vote is for
Um,
Splitgate. That's fun.
your vote is for Splitgate.
I did enjoy Splitgate.
Um,
It was fun. I probably got to play more video games, but I've been spending so much time on, I guess, Project question mark now. I don't know where that project's getting pushed to, so I'm
But
not
yeah,
going
but
to mention it.
everyone is
but-
like, they basically the reason why Halo Infinite is on this list of most disappointing games of 21 is because of their shitty progression system. Everyone's like, yeah, it's free and it's a very fun game, but the progression system is so bad that like everyone's mad about it. And 343 doesn't seem. They claim that they're gonna fix it after the holidays, but God knows when that's gonna be.
All right, so like July of next year. Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
July of
technically July
22.
4th is a holiday.
Yeah, right. After the holidays. Yeah, July 5th, it's going to be patched.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about the shit show that Grand Theft Auto the trilogy was?
There was what do you mean? Grand Theft Auto 5 that
you
they've
guys don't
released
know
like
about this?
87
Quentin,
times?
Oh,
did you
yeah.
ever hear about this?
I have
No, I
no
don't
idea what
recall
you're
hearing.
talking about.
Yeah, they remastered Vice City, San Andreas, and what was the other one?
Wait, now
And
I feel like I
GTA
do
3.
recall that actually.
Yeah,
now that you
Why?
mention it.
GTA 3. As a cash grab, basically.
That sounds about right.
The
It is
remasters
Rockstar
were
after
so
all.
bad. If you actually go
Oh,
look up
yeah.
screenshots, they are absolutely horrible.
Didn't like the
Like, wasn't
community
there meme
remaster
that,
them
like,
at one point anyway, and the
community
community
modders were
remasters
better?
were way better.
No, literally all the modders were better. Like
Yeah,
than
that sounds about right.
Rockstar. And then so they changed when they first launched it. They also took off all the old games off every store, and
Oh.
that of course caused like everyone was mad. Now they changed it so when you buy the remastered version, you get the old version of the game with the remaster. And Rockstar claims that was their plan all along, but God knows it wasn't.
Yeah, that sounds about
So-
right.
The definitive edition, huh?
Rip to everyone
Yeah,
having a
well,
heart
it
attack thinking they're
wasn't
getting a
definitive
Discord
at all.
message. So
Yeah,
sorry.
I have no idea if that's coming through the stream. I really hope it isn't. but-
I heard it.
Oh, you
but
know what?
anyway.
It totally
Yeah,
is
it
coming
totally
through.
is.
It's yeah. All right, I just switched my status. I'm sure it'll be just fine.
Anyway, but no, well, mine you won't hear because I'm on streamer mode. But the other
Yeah,
big
well,
thing
I
was
am
that the
too, but here
characters
we are.
all looked like ass. Like if you go look up screenshots of San Andreas Remastered or San Andreas Definitive Edition, the characters look like crap. They literally look like eggs. Their faces look.
They look like
faces are
eggs.
all smooth.
All right, let's see
Yeah,
this.
their faces are all smooth, and then they just have like their eyes and stuff painted on. Is what it looks like.
What?
It looks terrible, and everyone's mad about it.
I'm looking up an image of it now. Give me a moment.
Oh my
It
god.
looks like ass.
Wow, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Is this the remastered version? This looks like the old version.
This is a AAA title.
I mean,
That
it's
was supposed
ancient.
It is ancient, but they could have at least put some damn effort into it instead of hiring a bunch of interns to do it.
Yeah, they just smoothed all the really bad like polygons. So
Yeah,
they're talking
which
about
is
this
not how
what?
you remaster.
I really can't tell
Modded
if this is what it
original.
looks like, but oh my god, it looks so bad.
I'm
Yeah,
not too
this is-
familiar
this
with
is
what normal.
embarrassing.
My games, I'm super used to playing like on the N64 and having like super polygonal models. So I mean, anything looks good comparison to that. So
This is a
Speaking
mod.
of speaking of
I
old
would rather play
consoles,
the
did you
original
guys see
GTA
that?
San Andreas.
See that not too long ago they just released a game for the Sega Dreamcast.
Wait,
What?
what? In 2021?
Yeah, it's called Intrepid Izzy.
That's really weird.
was
They
it like
just
an,
Can you buy it on Steam as like an emulated copy?
No, you have to. It's a physical copy for the Sega Dreamcast.
that is
When,
crazy.
when did the
Not
Sega
okay.
Dreamcast come out? I know it's old
Who the
console.
fuck? I've never met anyone who owns a Dreamcast
Yeah,
or
same
had
here.
owned a
I
Dreamcast.
don't know if I've ever seen one.
I don't think I have
saw
either,
one
to be
at,
honest.
I have also
Exchange.
not.
Especially
but
not in person. I don't even
there-
know if online.
There are totally people listening to this that are like, "What are you talking
November
about?
What are you
This wasn't
talking
right
about?
then."
Oh my god.
The Dreamcast
98.
came out in '98.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
so
20,
old.
23 years later they came out with a game for it.
Well, it's older than me, Alex.
Yeah,
I know, I just
when
wanted to
was
say
the
that to see
PC
if I would
released?
offend
You know,
anyone.
they're coming out with new games for the PC all the time. So
Have any of you guys
It's a
seen
joke.
like K's Emanuar's emulated? Or you guys might not know. So there's this guy named K's Emanuar, I believe, or probably butchering his name. So sorry.
I don't
But-
recognize the name.
What?
Ace Emanuar.
Yeah, what he does is he mods Super Mario 64, like the OG, Super Mario for the Nintendo 64, and he like adds additional content to that game that it just blows my mind what he's able to do. He's basically made
There's so
entire
much.
new renditions of the game. Like Nintendo could have taken what he did, released it, and I bet it would have sold great, which is ridiculous.
So
I mean, that's really
my
interesting
friend
and
and I
cool.
got
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to
Super
do something
Mario
like that.
64
but
multiplayer
it
working.
takes a lot of work and time.
It takes a lot of work and time, but he's
Plus,
just
I'm not
so
smart
good
enough
at
to
it.
do that. But
I disagree,
runnable
but
multiplayer
well,
version.
you're free to disagree, but you're wrong.
all it is it just
What?
takes lots of time
You're free to
and effort
disagree, but you're
that
wrong.
iterates over
Absolutely.
itself.
Is that how every married relationship works? You're free to disagree, but you're wrong.
Yes,
allowed to be wrong.
absolutely correct. Yes.
Always.
Yes, we're married.
Yeah,
and
we're married now. I'm sorry.
that's why we're together.
Well, there's,
and then they're all separate.
What was it called again? I think it was called Super Mario Online. It was a mod for Super Mario 64.
Made
I
by
sure hope
K's
Nintendo didn't
Emanuar.
take it down.
Well, Nintendo did get really mad.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think it's made
That's
by
why I
K's
was
code-
making a
around.
joke.
All of the code was on GitHub, so I archived it, I believe.
Very good. Good
So-
for you.
Nintendo's really the worst with whole copyright claims and everything.
Sony's not much better though. I've heard Sony's getting really bad with that too, especially
Well,
with
here's the
Spider-Man.
thing. Well,
It's my understanding
Sony
that they're both terrible.
Sony will only copyright shit that is true. So like if you say, "Oh yeah, the Japanese Spider-Man is in Spider-Man No Way Home," they're not going to actually like copyright claim it. But if you say like, "Oh, MJ from Tobey Maguire's universe is going to be in it," and it turns out to be true, it's not. But if it turns out to be
Spoilers.
true, yeah. But if it turns out to be true, Sony would take it down.
As a way to detect to see if
Looking at
Rumors
the
are
But
true or
people
false.
people notice shit like that because like, oh well, I guess it's true. They took it down. People have realized that, so they just, if it's not true, they just leave it. Like if you do fan art, they're not going to flag it. But if it's fan art that turns out to be accurate, they'll flag it.
That's super
Wait,
interesting.
that's really weird. Okay.
What Kays has to do is before he used to like, you have the game and then the modded game, right? He used to distribute the modded game, but they considered the modded game as distributing the game itself, even though it's like 25 years old, not in production.
Yeah, right. I've seen that sort of stuff, and that drives me insane. Like, the game is not in production anymore. You cannot like legally buy it anywhere.
Not from the source, at least. Not from
yeah, right.
Nintendo.
Exactly. So why do you care, right?
But so what he has to do now is he has to distribute only the changes to the game, and you have to provide your own copy of the game, and then
Yeah, right. Exactly.
apply
Which
the
you
mods
obviously
yourself.
download off some ROM's website, and yeah.
allegedly.
Which is piracy.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly. Yeah, I'm going to
Let's build a
allegedly
copy.
pirate a game that's 25 years old that I cannot
What
legally
would you
buy
do
because
with
I have to pirate it. Thank you.
Decrepit copyright laws.
Yeah, right.
What? No,
What
so
would
like,
you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning?
Why are we
Just a
singing?
are you
great
good,
piracy
Quentin?
theme.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrified.
Yo
No,
ho.
I was singing because you guys were saying piracy. I was trying to make a funny.
Don't you know any sea shanties? Come on.
Hey,
that's right,
glass.
The reason why they do that, Ian, is because of what they just recently released, which is the Virtual Console. That's what they want you to do. They want you to.
You
buy
mean they
Nintendo
re-released the
Switch.
Virtual Boy? Oh my god, my favorite game
No.
console.
So what it is, Virtual Console is that you pay a monthly subscription to Nintendo, which I think it's like $50 a year. I don't know what the
$59.99.
Whoop whoop.
Is it?
Oh
$59.99?
boy, what do you know?
Three
It's
items.
just like Xbox
Three
game,
things.
whatever.
For
If
just-
Xbox
so you
Live? I
get-
don't know.
Well, no, the Nintendo's kind of doing the Xbox Live thing now, but with the
I always hated
subscription-
that.
But with
you
none of the
get-
content.
with the subscription.
So it's like
you get
OnlyFans
more-
for Nintendo.
OnlyFans
Yeah, but
for
you can't subscribe
Nintendo?
to anything.
Oh no.
You get
Mario,
online-
what are you
you get-
doing?
online multiplayer in most games, and then you get
Peach.
4 virtual
Uh-oh.
consoles.
I don't know about you, but I'm most excited for Bowser.
Browser?
Which
Yeah,
browser?
you got Edge, you got
Man.
Firefox.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna
Oh,
edge.
man,
Uh-huh.
There's Google Chrome.
Can't wait to see the lewd Firefox.
Whoa.
Hey, Rule 34,
Yeah,
dude.
it's just like a Fox girl from anime.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
Where's your brother? He'd enjoy that.
Oh God.
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh no. Are we bringing this into the podcast? We really shouldn't.
Let's not.
Back out.
I'm gonna hard switch topics to something like uber nerdy.
That's a good idea, yeah. Uber nerdy.
This
We're
is
gonna
like
even
something
throw
that
Quentin farther
Quentin's
down the
eyes are just
spiral.
gonna, Quentin's eyes are just gonna glaze right over, and he's gonna be like, I
Yeah,
know
great.
what
And
you're
he's gonna go
talking about.
farther down into the spiral of, hey, your brother, haha.
Haha, no.
Oh my
so
God.
I tried out i3, if you guys know what that is.
I do. I tried
Oh.
out i3 a while
But
back.
the
What
as
is
Windows
well.
manager.
i3?
That's
That
is a
Linux
really
window
good question,
manager?
Kyle, because like
Yeah.
3 people know what that is.
Computer
i3
do
is what's
computer
called
things.
is a tiling window manager. So basically, the whole idea is that instead of having like a desktop like on Windows where you have like a start menu and you have all this stuff, you
There's a
literally
reason
just
it's
have
called
a terminal and
Windows.
like Windows that you can reposition. That's all you get.
It's not
So
even
in, like-
can you even call it Windows though? Like there's sections
Yeah.
of
They are.
screen.
They're
It
designed
is
for
called a
X11.
window manager.
All right.
It's
I mean,
X11
I
Windows.
guess I don't know because I thought like the Windows idea is that you have the floating windows that you can, I guess, stacking Windows Manager where you have all
Well,
the
it's called a
floating
tiling
windows or
window
the floating
manager is what the
screens, and
term
you can
is.
stack them on top of each other or whatever. But the tiling window manager is different in that each window takes up its own little section of the screen. So like your
Isn't that what it
They can be
Discord takes
referred
up
to
a
as
quarter of your
tiles, or they can be
screen
referred to as windows.
or a tile,
Seems
right?
pedantic.
Exactly.
I mean, just like Windows, the desktop Windows Manager is what lets you like scoot things left and right on the screen. So it's like tiling, snapping. It's basically that, but with a lot more shortcuts and Linux.
Well, no, the entire
Stuff.
point of i3 is you're supposed to be able to control your entire computer without a mouse. That's their goal.
Correct.
Yeah.
But like,
I
love
so
it.
you're supposed to
But
be
here's
able to
the
do
thing.
something kind of similar in Windows, right? Where if you hold the Windows key and then hit the left arrow, right
Right.
arrow, up arrow,
Yeah.
go to the left of the screen, to the right of the screen, to full screen.
I
quarter
don't
of
think
screen.
it's as
Imagine
convenient,
that, but You
though.
have no choice. You have to.
It's
Yeah.
not a Windows key, it's a super key.
The super
Well,
key.
no, it's
yes,
called the
indeed.
mod. It's called the mod key
Well, I've also
what
seen
am I
Meta.
thinking of?
on i3. It's called the meta key on Linux normally. The Windows
Mm.
key is called the meta key. But it's called the mod key in i3. And then
There's
what
so
you do
many
is that
different
if you
ways
want
to
And now
say
we're
the
gonna get
super key, the
copywritten
mod
by
key, the
Facebook.
whatever. But yeah, right.
What?
We're gonna get
Oh,
copy. Yeah.
the meta. No.
Enter
Oh
the
my
metaverse.
God.
Dude, I will go. I have you guys seen those scam NFTs about like, yo, we're selling you
seems
guys
redundant.
metaverse girlfriends that are NFTs.
What the
Then you can combine the NFTs.
You can
to make
combine the
unique
NFTs to make 2
NFTs.
girlfriends? Is that how that works? You can just take your 2 NFTs, smash them together, and you've
I
got
am
2
actually
girlfriends?
not anti-NFT. I just think those scam NFTs annoy me. That's what bothers me.
I'm
I
anti
think
NFT
that's
because it's
redundant.
just dumb,
It's an
man.
oxymoron.
I
No,
mean,
NFTs are a real thing. The blockchain is.
I know they're a
thing.
real thing. I'm not saying they're
Oh, no.
not. I'm saying they're still a scam.
Oh, so we were talking the other day. I'll bring this up because
Grifters
this
and money
isn't like
laundering.
presently
Tell
in the
me anything
plans,
else.
right? We were talking the other day, and someone was like, "I give so few fucks nowadays. They're going to be NFTs." And I'm like, "This is a genius idea. We can NFT our fucks and then track our fucks through the blockchain. This is your long number. This is your receipt that I've given you one fuck. You can verify it through the blockchain."
No,
It's
That is a hell of a
the
senior
name of-
design project.
That's
my
that's what I'll do
senior
for
design.
capstone. I have to do a capstone project. I'm going to make a cryptocurrency called
Do it.
fucks.
Do it.
You're
FUX,
stealing my
you got away with
capstone
it.
project, Chandler. Get out. Leave. This is
Today's
mine.
pronounced Fuchs.
my
Make it a
idea.
backronym. You can do this. Please.
Don't know if I don't remember which doctor I have for my capstone project, but he's very Chinese. But I don't know if he's gonna think it's
fungible
funny.
ultimatum exchange. Fucks for short. I don't know. Please.
oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes, it's a brand new cryptocurrency. One of my
I
fucks is
don't-
worth
If I don't do this for my
$62,000.
senior design, this has to be a casual coders like meme.
Please.
I
project.
want it
We
to
need
be a
fucks.
casual coders project because it's so funny.
You can have.
We've
an
already
Arduino
mentioned
mining
making our own
box.
cryptocurrency.
called fucks. FUX.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to see.
These
it
here are
happen.
my V fucks. Oh wait,
God.
I'm sorry. That was terrible. I'm so
Hey, though,
sorry.
when you think about it, if we make our own cryptocurrency, since we're starting out at 0, we could probably mine the first few billion coins on like a pie in like a few days.
Yeah,
What do
we
you think
mine
the
all the
value
coins
of them
first,
would
and
be?
then we release it to the public. It's genius.
Hey,
It's totally
actually,
not a
you'd be
scam.
surprised. All those meme cryptocurrencies get enough value that the people who make them still make some sort of a profit.
Yeah, millions of dollars for Doge
Don't you have to
or
pay?
billions.
Yeah, we'd have
Just
an
make
upfront
a
cost,
coin.
but it's not as much as you think.
What is the upfront cost?
Still sounds like a scam
Well, no,
investment to me.
the part we have to pay is not the actual us programming the crypto. Which, by the way, I would just fork Ethereum and change the name.
Do that. That's your senior design
Bro,
project.
you've just given
There
all
you
the
go.
viewers the
No.
idea, man. You just told them how to do it.
I mean,
Oh,
to
no,
be fair,
now
that is
everyone's gonna
the
make
big
money.
part.
Oh no!
No one
inflation.
watches this
Alright,
anyway. It's okay. This is going to be the one
well,
podcast that
this is
shoots up
mostly
to
a meme
50,000
anyway. I don't
views.
think we're ever gonna actually do this.
We
But
have to do
anyway,
it. It's really funny.
Ethereum.
You would
If we can
fork
do it freely.
Ethereum. And then all you gotta do, but I just lost what I was talking about. Fuck. I mean,
That's
currency.
I mean, that is what
That's
we were
one of
talking
them.
about,
Yeah,
That's
right?
the first mining
actually, yeah, right. Mining crypto.
Oh man, I'm trying to there's also these new cryptos that are like they don't use GPU power. That's the new thing. It's called proof of stake, which is like
Oh,
the more you own, the
yeah.
more you get. So it's
Not
gonna
proof
use
of work.
less- Yeah, not proof of work. And then the other one I
Oh.
saw isn't proof of work; it's proof of storage, where you instead of having, you do work, but all the work is done on a hard drive. So you don't need a crap load of graphics cards. You need a crap load of hard drives and a crap load of SSDs. That was the one I wanted to get into. It's called Chia.
Sounds like a way to
And
make
they-
storage really expensive because suddenly all the scalpers are going to be buying up hard drives and everything.
It never
my
took
God.
off. It
Good.
didn't take off.
Thank goodness.
There's another one called like proof of connection, I think, right?
I don't
What?
follow.
Yeah, that
what
one's
would that
based on
be?
network bandwidth.
Oh my god.
What are they? I mean, what am I doing if I'm hosting something like this on my computer?
Wait,
Is
where
it like
can I
a
buy Chia?
botnet,
Does
but for
Coinbase
good?
let me buy
Yeah,
Chia?
that is a good question, right? Oh my
That's where
god,
I-
this here's
I
my
mean, wonder
botnet.
what-
It
what's
uses
in it for
all of
me.
my internet bandwidth
Right.
to scam
to mine
people.
crypto.
Yeah, right.
My
to
computer's
mine
acting as a
crypto.
CDN for the neighborhood, and I get 10
I'm gonna
cents
go.
a week for it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
right.
see if how much Chia is worth on Coinbase.
Here's my computer. It's totally not acting as a Tor exit node
Oh
for
my
all these
god,
people.
are you serious?
What do you mean? The FBI showed up at my house. Oh my god.
Yeah, right. It wasn't me.
Chia at one point Chia was worth $1,500 a coin. Now it's worth 98.
Was that in November of 2019?
No, it was in May.
$98 or
it was
98 million?
$98 a coin, but it was on May 14th, 2021, it was worth $1,595.30 a coin.
Sounds like I gotta
Damn.
spin up some hard drives real quick.
Well,
yeah.
right now it's sitting at $98, so I don't think it's
Go
worth
down to
it,
the mines,
but
boys.
Go down to the mines. Yeah, my basement
But
where I
no,
got a billion hard
Coinbase-
drives.
For Coinbase, all we have to do is like if we make the cryptocurrency, if we make some fucks, we can just put it on Coinbase and sell it to people.
Whoa. I
want
don't
this to
sell
happen.
my fucks to people. I give my fucks to people, and only when it's very spectacular.
Does that mean you are
It'd be
the
bad to buy
blockchain?
your own.
I am the blockchain. You are correct, yes.
You are the one
Yeah.
who awards.
Congrats.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm
to
the one who
others.
rewards. Here's your one fuck. It's just a massive hash. Takes up a
Gotta
whole
cause a bunch
A4
of
sheet of
social
paper.
media turmoil with our fucks.
Just tweet about it.
Get
Boom.
Elon Musk to tweet. Say Elon
Yeah.
Musk
Get
will
him
give
fired
you a
up.
million. Give you a million fucks if you tweet about it.
Yeah.
Even better, you just make one of the Elon Musk like bot accounts that always shows up on everything that he tweets, saying you're gonna give away your fucks for free, and
Oh
then
my
get people to pay you
God.
$10,000.
That's just the Nigerian prince scammer in that
That's
case,
also a
though. And
scam.
now we're just
That's also a
scammers.
scam and fraud, but yeah.
If we're breaking the terms of service, we might as well, go nuts to
Go all
butts.
the way.
Yeah, man. If you're breaking the terms and service, you may as
Balls to the
well
wall,
go
man.
all the way.
Yep.
Clipped.
Yes, incrimination. All right.
Oh man,
cool.
we're
So
breaking the
another-
Twitch TOS. May as well go all the way. Zip.
Oh my
So
god.
shifting off of cryptocurrency, I have another uber nerdy topic.
Should we split
This
up the
one-
uber nerdy topics with something that's a little less nerdy?
All right, you know what? Fine. If you want to talk about something less nerdy, I'll hold it off.
I
Because
have
think,
no clue
Quentin,
what
you
I've
have-
got that's less nerdy. Hold on, let me take a look at my list.
You
real
gotta
quick.
take a minute to think.
Is
Quentin, do you
resin
have
printing
anything you wanna
very
talk about
nerdy?
That's more mainstream.
Something more mainstream.
Huh?
What about
anything
microwave
you wanna talk about?
transformers?
Not off the top of my head, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Well, what about microwave
Screw it.
transformers? One of the very
What about
fun
them? They
hobbyist
kill
things
people?
that
That's
kill a
not
bunch
all
of
I
people
got.
every yeah.
I'm interested.
You're
Has anyone here ever
interested?
taken apart a microwave?
No, I need to.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Tell us the story of how you're still alive.
Okay, it wasn't energized, and I didn't touch the capacitor. and I
Holy
didn't
cow,
turn it on.
dude! He's so smart. How could he possibly have known? Whoa,
It's
dude.
definitely, I've made that
Engineering?
mistake before. That's why.
Yeah, I used
I
to
just
take
did it a lot
apart. I
earlier.
used to take apart little, you know those disposable cameras that had the
I
like
was just
400 volt
thinking
flash.
that was my worst shock.
Yes. You take those apart. You charge up the little capacitor and you tase
310
someone
volt.
with it. Yeah, I think it was 410 volts, if I'm not mistaken.
It's just the max voltage rating, but I mean they go high.
They go high. They
It's
got a
a
lot of
lot, it
capacitance in
hurts.
there.
You'll feel it. Yeah.
I've seen people take like Nerf darts and like stick one of these capacitors inside the Nerf dart to make like a taser
All right. That
gun.
is
Yes, Alan Penn
not
did a
okay.
video on that
Alan
on
Penn.
Sufficiently Advanced.
It was a really cool project.
made-
I quite enjoyed
He
it.
built a Nerf gun that you put the dart in, and it had two little contactors. You just pressed a button on the Nerf gun to charge the capacitor, and you could shoot them at people.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it was
anyway, here's a
everyone
good
made
question.
taser
Let's
out of
follow
it,
this
just
up.
the
Have any of
camera,
you
right?
guys ever been tased?
Only by
Not
myself by accident.
voluntarily. When I
Only-
worked with Alex, I accidentally touched a machine in the wrong spot and got about 48 volts through the hand.
Oops.
Am I the only person who's tased myself in this group?
In the older
I don't own a
style
taser.
of Christmas lights, when changing a bulb, I once when I was super young was changing a bulb
You
and then
zapped yourself with
You're like,
mace.
oh, I wonder
did.
what happens if I stick my finger in the socket.
I put my finger in the socket while like reaching in the bag and then I'm like, wow, what the heck?
God, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
But it sounds like you have, Ian.
I have been tased. Yeah, I know.
You sound so
Future-
excited about this.
I have.
How
Future
was it?
project. It's gonna be really fun. Stay tuned. Even though it's like February or something, but we
Wait,
don't
you're
make
gonna do it again?
promises here. So we'll see. We'll see. It should be good fun though. Can't wait to tase you all. I think that should be good fun. I hope you're looking forward to it.
You're telling us we should run right
don't
now.
want to be
That's
tased.
what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe run. I don't know. Or it's good content. You know,
Touche,
good
touche.
content is really worth a lot of money these days.
This is at the bar now.
Yeah, the bar is good content.
Anytime you
That's
want to like,
reactionary.
shot in a video game.
anytime you want to strong arm a friend to do something, content. Come
content,
on,
bro. Come on, let me tase you.
Content.
It's every peer pressure excuse.
Absolutely.
What is the name
Do it
of
for
the
the
thing
vine.
inside of a microwave that produces the microwaves?
Oh shit! It's like a. Oh no! I know this.
I know
it's a
like magnet with a
radiometer
hole in
or
it
something,
that you just
or
put a fuck
Oh
load of
yeah, it's a
voltage through.
Magnetometer, there you go.
Magnetometer. No, that's the
Magnetometer? That's the thing that
Magnetron?
measures it.
Magnetron. That's
Magnetron. It sounds like a transformer. The magnetron.
yeah, it
the
does.
magnetron.
Sounds like a fucking transformer.
Yeah, that sounds like such a made-up thing.
The funny thing is, it's
Transformer
hooked
what
into a
shit kills it
transformer.
now.
It is. You are right.
The electrical
No,
type
that's
of transformer.
Decepticon.
Microwave-tron, roll out. Your microwave turns into a car and just drives a hole through your wall. I don't know.
going to the Transformers universe, anything could be turned into a Transformer, because I remember some woman's steering wheel got zapped with the cube thing in the first movie, and she got attacked by her steering wheel in her Cadillac.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
and
was
then
a scene from the
then
movie.
a little
Called the
flip phone.
Tesseract.
A little flip
There
phone.
was a flip phone
Oh my
Decepticon. It
gosh.
was literally a tiny phone, and it was spying on everyone.
You
Yo,
know, a
wait.
little RC car.
Little
Accurate.
NSA,
Yeah.
no.
NSA spy drones.
Yeah, right? NSA spy
birds?
transformer.
No.
Yeah.
Birds are real.
You remember when Corona started? Everybody was so like hell bent on the fact that they had us quarantined so they could change the batteries in the birds. Why the fuck do you think they sit on power lines? They're wirelessly charged.
Yeah, bro, they're definitely wirelessly charged by that AC signal. I mean, I guess
It was
technically,
really
but
sad
where
when I
did
found a bunch
coil
of
go,
birds
though?
on real posters in the engineering building.
Yo, we could test this. We should experiment, right? We can get like a
real.
bird and we can set some like wireless charging pads outside and see if the birds land on the wireless charging
This is
pads.
America. If you want to test your theory, all you do is go outside with a shotgun, and you can test your theory.
You just
I'm
test your
pretty
theory
sure
by
that's how
saying
you
it's
get
true.
arrested, but you know, that's cool. That's cool. We are in America
in your
though, so
town.
people do totally get arrested to test their whack job theories. So
But we're also
Setting
not
5G
in your
towers
town,
on fire.
maybe in my town.
Yeah,
it would just
right.
Be, like looked at funny.
Yeah. You know everybody in your town. They know
yeah,
what you're
that's
up
fair.
to.
That's fair.
Speaking of theories, is water wet?
No.
Define wet.
Yeah.
Define wet.
Yeah, absolutely. This is now
That's
we're
the
now
definition
we're
of
on
wet,
the
for
wacky
sure.
business.
I
Water
want to
is
say
not.
the adjective came from the verb. So you wet things.
Using
That's
wait.
using water. But
Wait,
it
wait.
does
Does
have
that mean
adhesion and cohesion.
does that mean the only thing that's wet are things that have water on them?
Well, I mean, a lot of
No,
stuff has
like-
water in
Because
them.
if water were actually wet, you'd be able to see droplets of water on the water.
Is that how you define being wet?
No,
though?
I
What
don't
is a
think
spill?
I don't think that wet is determined by if it's water. Like if I spill coffee on a piece of paper, is a piece of paper wet?
Yes.
Yes.
But it's not water, it's
'Cause
coffee.
There's water in the coffee.
But there's water in the coffee, yeah.
Coffee is water. Yeah, that's a component.
But I'm
Coffee
talking
is
about
just-
So-
water
it's just a-
specifically. Is water's wet?
All right,
Is
so I
water
googled
wet?
the definition
Is
of wet,
coffee a
right?
suspension?
So
The
it,
first definition is covered or soaked with a liquid,
Yeah,
such
a
as water.
liquid.
So a liquid.
yeah, a liquid for sure.
There you go.
Because you can
Okay.
have something that's not water that's
Physics.
liquid.
Yeah.
Cereal soup.
Is a hot
Yes.
dog a sandwich? That's a different
Yeah,
podcast.
yep.
Uh,
Is a hot dog.
welcome
Yeah, I
to
put
the
ice in
Is
my
a Hot
cereal,
Dog a
so what?
podcast? Wait, hold
Sponsor.
on.
Is the hot dog a podcast?
I was totally going, is the hot dog a podcast sandwich? But that's not right. Welcome
is.
to the Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich podcast. Today, we're discussing meat.
We're gonna get copyrighted.
We're going to get copyrighted? Yeah, there's totally that podcast already.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So going back to another uber nerdy.
Yeah,
topic,
let's jump to the uber nerdy stuff
Alright.
and like Quentin's
this is
eyes
something
glaze
like-
over again.
that them hardcore computer nerds are gonna want to talk about.
Mhm.
They were able to create transistors out of germanium and decrease the size. And like they said, there's some sort of
Bro, I'm basically an electrical
Transistor.
engineer. Even my eyes are glazing over here.
there is a type they used.
Ouch.
They made a special type of transistor. They're basically going to be able to use 85% less transistors in a processor of the same computing power
Nice.
Very cool.
using germanium.
I want to see this
Well, did
be
you see
real
that
first,
Samsung
though.
was able to stack 512 gigabytes of storage onto a stick of RAM?
Isn't
Yes,
that with
'cause of
DDR5 though?
Which,
Yeah.
oh my god, DDR5 is getting scalped so bad right now, and it pisses me off.
I saw the
How big's the
LTT
heat
video,
sink?
yeah.
Actually, the heat sinks, the DDR5, while it's hotter than DDR4, it's not that much.
This just in breaking news: 16 gigabytes of DDR5 costs
So is that like going
$1,200.
from the state of Maine being a 10 to the state of like, I don't know, Minnesota being an 11?
What?
What? I don't understand your scale.
I have
Talking
no clue
about
what
women,
just-
he's
yeah.
being weird. No.
I'm talking
No.
about anybody.
So no, but the big thing is right now DDR5 doesn't give you any sort of performance advantage, but people are scalping it anyway.
It's actually
Okay.
really funny too.
Yeah, because they're like scalping DDR5 for like $1,000 for like a 16 gig kit, when
Yeah,
when
I
you can get
know.
a 16 gig kit of DDR4
For
like
$178
$100, and it has the
yeah.
same performance.
It's
Huh.
the
But
fact
you
of
do
like
have to
trying to
have a
future
specific
proof, I guess.
motherboard.
But
What do
Yeah,
you
'cause it's gotta
feature-
follow all the new
I don't
standards,
know.
yeah.
I
One of the new standards is now the power delivery
How
system.
many-
like,
how
there's a
many
power
generations
supply
of chipset?
inside of the DDR4 or in the DDR5 module?
How many
So it
generations
takes
of
12 volts
chipset
in
do the
and it
Intel
breaks it out.
sockets support? Like how many chips per socket? Isn't it just 2 per socket generation with Intel?
don't.
What do you mean chips per socket?
Like
Yeah, what
how
do you
many
mean chips per
CPUs? Like
socket?
12 series, 13 series, 14 series, all use the same socket. How many per socket, right?
What do you mean? Oh, so what Intel does it on they call it the tick-tock is what they do. So one year they'll release a new socket, and then the next year they'll release a new CPU that will accept in that socket or accept in that
Yep,
motherboard series, and then the next year they switch to a new one.
So it's
Do
one
they still
socket,
not use
2
a
years.
LGA 1151?
There's no reason.
No?
Like there's
I
no
see.
reason to go with the
which is 2
DDR5 for
years
the future
old, is on
resistance.
1200.
Right now, there's no reason for it, right? The best upgrade that you would get on your system is a 13 series, right? Which, who
12.
knows? We'll call it on average 10, maybe 20% gain over the old. Versus you skip that generation and go to the 14 series with a totally new socket, new architecture. Now you're looking at a much larger jump. Now there's motivation to jump to DDR5 because it's matured as a technology, and you're getting that slightly better support for a newer socket.
Right, but you can get that.
afford
You can
it?
get the DDR5 now, and
Sure,
then
but that
later
DDR5 is going to
upgrade.
be useless in 2 or 3 years when you're actually looking to upgrade.
But it'll still work with the DDR5.
Sure, it'll still work, but what's the point? When you could get the DDR5 for literally 9 times less, like $800 less for the DDR4. Do that, save the $900, and then in 2 or 3 years, spend that $900 on the DDR5. And now you've purchased both DDR4 and DDR5 for what an old garbage kit of DDR5 would have cost you today.
This is like crypto PC part analysis.
Yeah.
Like invest in DDR5.
Invest. Oh my God. The DDR5 stocks are going through the moon, dude. We gotta buy more
Like, it's cryptocurrency
DDR5.
that uses your RAM.
Hold the line.
Oh my God. Diamond hands, bitches. Diamond hands.
I'm pissed. Thanks.
Oh my God.
So do we
man.
ever see any foreseeable future of being able to upgrade our PCs at a reasonable price?
Nope,
is the
not
price ever
anymore.
going to go back to where it was in 2016?
Never.
Or am I just going to be
No.
stuck with this new reality?
Well, okay, so I think the prices will go down, but they're never going to be as low as they were in 2016. And the main reason is not because of how screwed up the GPU market is. The main reason is partially due to tariffs and partially due to inflation, which we had a discussion of this on one of the
Yeah,
not the
last
but
podcast
the
it would have been,
podcast
I think.
before. Was it the last one? Either way,
Maybe
one
it
of
was the one
podcasts we
before that,
discussed,
actually.
The U.S. inflation rate hit 7% this year, which is like
Mhm.
way higher than it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, PCs are never going to be as cheap as they were, but I think they'll still go down in price for what they are now because of scalpers and crypto is the main reason they're inflated right now.
Which they're talking about making dedicated mining cards.
They already
talking
do,
about, they-
technically.
Well, they
do.
are. They are making dedicated
But they're
mining
not
cards.
making them in as big a volume as they thought they were going to be. Yet.
Yeah.
They said part of it's tooling.
Also, Chandler, your video just
Charge a
vanished,
lot
by the
for
way.
I
What?
can see him.
Your video
Oh,
just
he's so
vanished,
much
by the
bigger
way,
now.
on our side.
I can still see him.
That's
I can
real
still
weird.
see him too.
Doesn't matter. I'm recording, that's why we're recording it twice.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Welcome again to the Technical Difficulties Podcast.
yeah, pretty much. It's just technical difficulties.
Hope that OBS
podcast.
keeps recording. We're just gonna hope that OBS keeps recording because I jumped back to Discord.
I am going to look
I
at
haven't
one of my
even looked.
others. No, mine's been fine.
Looks like we're
Ooh,
good.
meet the Cybercat, a mini remote-controlled EV designed to help you clear your snow. Someone built a freaking robot that's a plow.
Cyber plow. What's it
But
called?
how
It's called the Cybercat.
I'm skeptical
Why?
now because if it's primarily designed for use in the winter, lithium-ion batteries don't do very well in the cold. So you have
Got
Battery
a cold
heater.
start
to
engine.
heat up the right. Pull start my lithium-ion cells. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Here, I
You
just
just
sent
light a
it.
fire under it.
Oh my
Can
god.
we make
Yeah, light a
remote
fire
controlled
under it.
go-kart that's full
I'm sure
size?
it'll heat the batteries, but that seems inefficient. I don't know.
Yeah, run it
Isn't
on
it like-
Python.
Here's one. Isn't California like trying to ban small like internal combustion engines by 2025?
You already
or
have to buy
something?
California compliant internal combustion engine.
California
Yeah, don't they
compliant.
like
Oh
not have gas
boy.
stations?
So
To
first
replace
you've
all
got to
the
make
gas
your
stations
California
with Tesla.
compliant rifle. Up next is your California compliant car. What next? California compliant homes, couches.
Yes,
How far does it
actually,
go?
yeah.
Your
That
cell
kind of
phone
already
has to be
exists, yeah.
California compliant.
California
Yes.
compliant homes, you're not allowed to have your like generators on
Yeah, right.
during the day for the most part.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're
but
not
they
allowed
don't
to
want
use a
water you
backup
can use, like,
generator.
this is all pretty typical.
I've
It's got to
heard
be earthquake compliant too.
people
It's
in
a
So.
friggin'
California buy
tank.
Tesla Powerwalls because the electricity is so expensive that California actually has a curve of where how much their electricity costs, and it looks like a sine wave.
Oh
So
gosh.
at night, electricity is cheaper, but during the day, electricity is more expensive.
So you just
what
sink
people
energy
do-
out of the grid at night when it's cheap into your
Yes,
power
That's
wall.
what people do
Oh my
with
gosh.
the Powerwall, and then during the day, they'll switch over to the Powerwall and not take energy from the grid.
I think there's a way
Which
that
is
if you
also
have
why
excess
Tesla has huge
energy,
subsidies on solar panels.
if you have excess energy, there's a way that you can get paid to put it
Yeah,
back
you can
into
sell
the
it
grid.
back into- That's a really great business strategy.
Yeah.
You buy a bunch of the cyber power walls or whatever, buy a whole bunch of energy at night, and then sell it back during the day.
Boom.
That's basically
Boom.
what the utility is
Profit.
doing. I mean, they if anyone has access to like power banks, that they can do that, and they will do that. and
All
they'll
right,
make
cool.
money
Do you
on
think
it.
my cell phone can do that? Just a single like 6 milliamp hours of
Yeah,
of power?
however much you think that makes an impact, you certainly can. What's the
remember
kilowatt
that-
hour rate?
Yeah, right. Well,
You
here
know,
where I'm
Japan
at,
is
it's
like
about 7
cents.
cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah,
Not a
so
lot.
per kilowatt hour.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Huge profit margin, all of 0.0000001 cent.
Plug your extra 18650s into the outlet and see if they give you any money back.
Yeah, bro. What happens if I run 120 volts AC through an 18650 cell? Boom.
Let's find out. Maybe
Yeah.
outside.
Did you
No,
guys?
me and Haley were looking into getting solar panels on our house, and like the power right in the future when we buy a house, we want to put solar panels on it, and the power company will pay you if you go over like.
Bro,
if
you
you're
live in
producing more
Ohio.
power
What
than
what
you're
kind of
using.
solar are you gaining living in Ohio?
More than you think, dude? I've actually
More
looked
than
into it. It's like
London.
way
I mean,
more
sure,
than you
but
think. Like to
It's
the
like
point where it would
6
be
months out of
worth
the year, right?
buying. Like is 6 months out of the year or more, I wouldn't have a power bill. Like that's how much we would get.
Well,
That's fair.
Tesla is also talking about making the solar panels have kinetic energy, so that way you're still
I'm
getting
pretty sure they already do.
you're still
Kinetic
getting
energy?
energy whenever it's raining, because the rain hitting the solar panels dealing kinetic energy and it's
And you
storing
still
it
get-
somewhere.
What, like a milliwatt?
You still get like 70% power, 70% of what your solar panels are, even when it's cloudy out. Because 70% of the sunlight still gets through. So you still
Are
get
we still?
electricity.
Are these silicon-based solar cells still like the
I
typical?
don't know what Tesla, because her and I wanted to do the Tesla solar roof instead of the actual panels.
Aren't
don't know
those
how
the
they work.
shingles?
Wouldn't-
I thought that never took off and
Yeah.
has totally
It
just
took
been
off.
They still
vaporware this
do-
entire
They
time.
took off, yeah. Especially out west, but around here you can buy them now.
Hmm.
And when you buy a Tesla solar roof, it comes with a power wall.
I was under the impression that it was still vaporware, and I thought that Tesla had to like greatly increase their cost for their solar stuff.
It is not cheap. It is rather expensive. I think it's like $20,000 to $30,000 for their panels. It's like $40,000 for a solar
That's the
Well, it
price of
comes
a new
with a
car.
25-year warranty.
roof.
That's comforting, at least.
And
Until it
that's just on the
dies
panels, I think.
25
They have a
years
different
in one
warranty for their
day.
battery. I think the battery is only 10 years.
That's what wears out first, I'm sure. But honestly, the only thing
Yeah.
is if it's silicon cells, their biggest drawback is they're very fragile. So they're brittle, and it can be problematic to have them have water in them, or they
Well,
just
they're-
I have a
we don't
feeling it's
withstand elements
probably-
well.
I have a feeling
Well,
it probably
it-
wouldn't be
Water resistant,
silicon.
I'm sure.
Yeah, what about like when it hails and stuff?
Well, I'm just thinking even like sticks and leaves and other crap. I mean, anything will eat away at glass. I mean, try to think of how nasty your windows are after a year.
Yeah, and Chandler and Kyle,
just-
you guys know my house. We don't have any sun here that would make solar
Well, yeah,
make
because
any
you guys
sense
live in the
here,
woods.
but, I mean, yeah.
Gonna need
Cabin in
open
the woods.
skies.
You live in a national park, Ian.
I do live in a national park. It's
Dude,
pretty
stop
great.
doxing him.
I'm literally homeless. I live in a tent inside a national park. That's where we're currently at. We're in my nice
Yeah,
little
where are you
tent.
gonna put the panels?
Yeah,
on
I'm
one
gonna put
side
the
of
panels
canvas?
just outside, lay them on the ground, hope that the park rangers don't show up and shoot my dog.
They actually have these solar panel kits that you can get
Shoot
now
the Taylorite-filled dog.
for when you're camping. You can like fold out this kit and then like charge your cell phone off of it. And
Oh
solar
man,
panels
I'm
gotten
gonna
efficient,
charge
that's
my
why it
whole
works.
house
Kyle,
off
you have
of
a little
3
solar panel
watts.
in your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your solar backpack.
I
All
do
right.
have a solar backpack. It's super cool.
How much power does it generate?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. One time, so I've had 2 generations of the solar power backpack. Fun fact, actually. And the first generation, between the second generation, first generation, the second generation's solar panels are much more power efficient, which is super cool. But for the first generation, I was super concerned because it wasn't charging my cell phone anymore. I'm like, what is going on? Is this working? So I took the backpack apart, pulled out the solar panel, hooked it up to a multimeter,
Yeah.
and could verify. Oh yeah, so I basically
How many volts, if you recall?
I can't recall exactly. So there's a couple of the solar panels in series. So per cell, it generates a certain
Yeah,
voltage.
right, yep.
And that voltage is directly proportional to the amount of light that hits said solar panel.
Absolutely, that is correct. Yes.
But what's really interesting is that it was extremely continuous. So like even in the room that we're in right now, it would be charging. Like it would have a voltage that would be applying, and it's not from sunlight, quote unquote.
Right, it's a small voltage, but it's a voltage nonetheless.
Yeah.
Now the problem there is obviously current. How much current can you output?
Yes, exactly. To get the full power.
Yeah, right.
out
You're
of it.
outputting 12 volts at 0.0001 watts.
Yep,
and
exactly.
Yeah, right. You got nothing there.
So what the way that it works then is you have a battery section.
Yeah, right.
And
There's
then
like a lithium ion cell, I'm assuming, in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes, so it'll charge at whatever rate it can to the battery, and then the battery will charge whatever device you want.
Right. And I'm assuming that little 18650 cell or lithium ion pouch or lithium polymer pouch, whatever it is, just died. I'm sure you could just replace it pretty easily and boom, back up and running.
Yeah, I think what was happening was that it had a minimum charge rate, and it wasn't hitting that minimum charge rate.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that is an interesting question. Do lithium ion cells have like a minimum charge rate? Like if I charge it at 25 milliwatts, is that enough, or does it have to be?
Well, you're trickle charging.
Yeah, right. Like
what's
what's the minimum current that you can charge a lithium cell at?
Yeah, because
it's
it
infinitesimally small.
I
It'll
don't.
take
That's not true though. 'Cause you got
Infinitely long to
losses.
charge, right?
I guess no. It's up to a point. I think that there's probably a point where it'll start charging. Otherwise,
Well,
you're
when
just
we're
taking
talking
too
in
many
limits.
losses. I think. I mean, sure, if you're in the theoretical world, but we're in the real
Sure.
world.
5 years.
If you count, if you
later.
pick and place the electrons.
Yeah,
I
let
mean,
me
how
just
long
grab
would
a
it take?
crane and individually move each
Yeah.
electron back and forth.
Put the
Oh,
pixies
man.
back in the box.
Get in there, you magic pixies! Ah! Yeah.
Now, one of the other things I looked into was getting like one of those windmills in your backyard to generate wind power.
Those are probably more reliable than the solar.
Yo,
at
what if we
least,
just
for
3D
the
print
cost.
a windmill for my backyard to generate
You can.
some wind power and just
Do it.
do big wind?
I dare you.
if you have like a river in your backyard or anything like that, you could like have
We
a
got
water
that
wheel.
shit.
Hydroelectric.
Just do it.
Yeah, we can make a
Yeah,
hydroelectric
maybe
thing
build
off my
myself a
septic
little
tank.
hydroelectric dam in my backyard.
Have you seen? There was a pretty well-known YouTuber guy who has a
Yeah,
couple
I've
of
seen that,
barrels
actually.
set
It's
up
really,
and
really
has a whole
cool.
hydroelectric setup. He goes through like his
Oh
maintenance.
yeah,
I-
where
he's gone
it like
through iterations
rains into
of
the
it.
barrels, and then they're like a battery where he can just hit it and it will just spurt out the water.
Well, he
and
has like
generate
a
power off of that.
he has the barrels in a stream, so there's a whole
Oh,
setup.
okay.
It was pretty crazy to see his thing, but
I recall seeing
yeah,
that. It was really, really cool.
I have
it
not
was
seen
years
this.
old.
Yeah,
What do I need to Google in order to find it?
probably backyard hydro or something. I'd assume is enough to,
Her and
Take a
I's
look.
first property, we're not even going to bother putting solar panels on because we're buying a house next year, and we're just going to buy the house and for the most fix it up enough to make it livable, and then call it a day and live in it for 5-ish years.
the next casual coders project be like, we got power out of Ian's septic tank output. Genius,
Gross.
gross,
I
and
mean, you
horrible.
can burn off methane.
There's a sensor that like takes a heat differential and turns into a voltage.
Yeah,
Right,
Peltier
that-
device.
It's not a sensor. It's Peltier pad.
Yeah,
I
Peltier
wanna-
pad.
Okay, this is going to be one of our casual coders projects thing. I want to do this in the future. A blanket that charges your phone using your body heat.
We need a whole bunch of heat
No.
sinks. I can't wait to be covered in massive
That
aluminum
blanket
heat sinks.
will be so cold because it's going to be
No.
taking heat from you. It'll do the opposite of what a blanket should do. It doesn't keep heat in; it takes the heat from you and
I
forces it into your phone.
I truly don't see this working. The voltage differential of the Peltier pad on your leg versus the open air is going to be so
Quentin
tiny.
is bothered by this so much.
Oh, are you hot and
I mean,
bothered
dude,
by
it should
that?
just
Well,
turn
good
into
thing
food.
because the Peltier
Dressers that
pad's
you
going
guys
to
are
make you
wanting to
cold.
make. The heated dressers.
Oh, the heated dresser's a good
Yo,
idea,
throwback to
though.
the first episode. Is that right? Where we talked about the heated dresser, just
I
like
remember you
throwing a
talking about
massive red heating element underneath the dresser and just burning the whole thing down.
Melt your clothes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a major fucking fire hazard, bro.
Of
Yo, I
course
don't
it
care
is.
if it's a fire
So is
hazard.
your phone.
You
Your
just-
phone is an
you just gotta
explosive in your
install one of
pocket.
those,
I didn't realize that
fire
you carried a
alarm
Note
panels next
7,
to it.
Kyle.
Everything's a fire hazard if it's done poorly.
Well, according to Apple, at least, if you crack open your phone and you so much as stab the battery, that's gonna we're gonna nuke the whole desert that you live in or your entire home. Just everything's gonna be gone in a 5-mile radius if you so much as puncture that lithium ion cell. According to Apple, of course.
one day when there's nuclear reactors for batteries.
Oh
in every
yeah.
phone.
Oh
That's
man,
because Apple
I think it
users
was
don't
like
know
8
enough
years
about
ago,
their
man.
phones.
Someone was talking about a
Most
thorium-powered
Apple
car.
users don't
We're
know
gonna use
enough about their
nuclear
phones
power
to
to power
actually
your
know
car.
the difference.
Gonna do a car crash and level the city.
God.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Whoops! I crashed. Boom! There goes Detroit.
What if you got
Well,
a bunch of those
I
LT?
really hope that at that point
Would
they
that
have
be
it
would that
engineered
be such
right.
Would that be
though,
such a
if it were
big problem
Detroit?
if we leveled
Yeah, right.
Detroit?
How
I
many
don't know.
times
That's
do
a
you
good
think they could
question.
mitigate that? There's no traffic in Detroit because the whole city's been flattened tonight at 11.
This just in breaking news.
What if you like took you dug
Have
a
you
giant
or a loved one been bothered by lithium-ion cells? You may be entitled to financial compensation.
I am bothered by
Maybe
lithium-ion
ions.
cells and their shit battery letting. I'm kidding.
What if you dug a giant hole in your backyard to the point where you know started getting the geothermal energy and you
People
put a bunch
do
of
it, yeah.
LTA up?
Oh
what-
my
what-
God!
Well,
Why are we
someone
doing
I went
more
to school with
Peltier
has
shit?
geothermal
Stop.
house.
Yeah.
No, there are people who have geothermal generators in their house. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
it's
buy
really
up the-
that's the
cool. They
thing.
like dig out a whole bunch of area in your backyard and run like some form of plastic pipe around and
Yep.
like snake it down underground and stuff. It's a really interesting system. I believe that's how they heat the house, and then you have free heating and cooling year round.
Well, no, I met someone who actually had a proper geothermal generator. They actually generated their own power off of geothermal. They didn't
Interesting.
have to
As-
be on the grid.
As a licensed HVAC tech, geothermal is pretty cool, but it fucking sucks to work on.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's kind of underground. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I wonder how. Wait, is there a company like? Can you like buy generators or like? I'm sure there's a company here in Ohio that will like build you a geothermal generator in your basement. How much is it going to cost though?
A lot of money.
About 30,000 if you
geothermal-
don't have to move anything.
A
Depending on the size of the
geothermal
system.
like replacement for an HVAC unit's like 15 to 20,000.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
15 to
horribly
20,000.
expensive.
Does
For
that
a
include installation
furnace.
or is that just the unit?
Installation.
I
Okay,
assume
then
that
installation.
The
by
installation
default,
is probably the most expensive part because they have to run tubes all around your backyard.
And you have to clear the area. I mean,
Yeah, right. You have to
it has
dig
to be
holes
open,
and yeah,
you gotta
absolutely. You
excavate.
need like a
Haley,
big field.
In a few years, like in about 10 years, which is what we project, like whenever around the time we turn 30, we want to build our house. Like we want to do what Alex is doing and build our dream home for the two of us to live in and our kids at that point, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But if
You
I
can
have
tell
the
she's
house
smiling
built,
sitting next to you just thinking
no,
about
she's
that.
not in the room. But think about it. If we're building the house from scratch, if I want to do research into this, I could have the house geothermally powered. as
God,
long as
man's gonna
I-
compile his own home. Look at this fucking Linux nerd compiling his
You're
own
the
home.
ultimate Linux
My
user.
God.
Although
Here's your
geothermal
birthday cake,
is
make it your damn self.
as expensive as it is, geothermal and baseboard heating are actually the like two most efficient.
Heat
What if
pump.
I could be off
Heat
grid?
pump.
Heat
Well,
pumps are great.
off-grid.
I'm
Want
assuming
land,
you've
you're
watched the
gonna
whole
be.
long technology connections or whatever video on it.
I think
what?
by default, they generally tend to take the geothermal energy and turn it into steam, right? And then do turbines off
No.
of that and turn
No,
it that way.
I think they
pump.
just use it
Well, I
for
guess,
heating,
yeah.
like heating and
Wait, how
cooling.
does
A
it
heat
work?
pump is
Quentin would know. How does it work?
You condense and then you.
This is his area of expertise.
Yeah.
So-
I'll let the expert speak.
a heat pump is actually an air conditioner, but the way that it works is that it just completely flips your air conditioning. So rather than blowing the heat, so if you stand above your air conditioner in the summertime, it's going to blow heat out of the top of it. So during the winter, if you use it for the heating setting, it flips that. So the A coil inside of your house is actually heating rather than, it's basically an electric heater, an extra electric heater.
But it's doing an air
But
conditioner. in reverse.
geothermal, yeah,
An air conditioner
geothermal
is a heat pump. Just they're usually not reversible without changing out like the valves.
exactly.
Yeah,
But they do. They would be
There's-
exactly
but there
the
are
same
heat pumps which
mechanics.
Heat
are
pumps have
effectively just
reversing
reversible air
valves,
conditioners.
so that way
they can
it'll
switch.
run the opposite way and actually heat your
Right.
house if for whatever reason your blower motor, your furnace actually goes, you can still have heat.
Mhm.
But like
Um,
electricity through a wire produces heat. But
Yes, that's
yeah,
resistive
that's
heating.
how an electric pump. That's how an electric heater works.
but
It
if
just
I
pretty
take
much-
right?
if I take
Yeah.
heat and I put that in the wire, it will not produce electricity. So my question is, how do they take the geothermal energy and convert it into electricity?
They convert it into steam and run it through a
You're
turbine. I thought.
condensing
That
and
is my question.
expanding liquids.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I
So
thought
it
that
does
they
go
just
via
use the
turbine.
thermal.
It's
the-
kinda like-
eh.
it's
I
kinda
thought
like
they
an
just
AIO.
used the geothermal to heat the house. Just keep it the same temperature as whatever it is underground, without doing all the other stuff, and you still get regular
Yeah, it's kind of like an
electricity.
AIO.
Yeah, I
In
thought
a way, it's
I thought
already-
it was
it's already fully-
mostly just house heating. I didn't think there was any electricity that came out of that system at all.
You
It's
can
just heating
get
your home.
geothermal like generators and stuff. That is a
Sure.
So
thing.
a geothermal kind of works like a boiler.
The generators do?
No, like a geothermal HVAC unit. It kind of is like an AIO where all the is already in it, and it like some models at least. Some models are vastly different, always. But it kind of works like a boiler, where it heat in the pumps.
So apparently, there's actually on the EPA's website, they actually have like information on how you can geothermal your house. It's very interesting, which is, I guess, pretty common thing. Oh my god, this guy made a cheap geothermal setup using a fuel pump from a 90 Civic. Oh my god. How on earth did he manage that? What the fuck?
I see we just have gained a new
We've
person on the
gained a new
podcast.
podcaster, yeah.
What is the name of this
Wait,
new
what?
podcaster?
She's shy, but she wanted to come in.
What is the name of our new podcaster?
This is Sweet
Cat.
Rose the hippie cat. She is 15, super old, and likes to like come in here and scratch on my door and have attention, but she doesn't like people.
Welcome.
Okay, we're not real people, according to her.
Most of them work like an actual like heat pump though.
Yeah, you're not a real person, you friggin' nerd.
But they still use the
Casual
the
coder.
water in the ground. And then it kind of is like the air conditioner where it just runs it to an A coil.
How long have we
I
been
have
on
the
heat pumps and
refrigeration
AC at
cycle
this
in
point?
reverse.
Should we try to jump to
Yeah.
one last topic before we move
Sure.
on?
Oh, it has been an hour and 10 minutes. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, something like that.
Did you guys see that TikTok is now more popular than Google?
Oh, this one, yeah. I'm pretty sure I sent
What?
that,
That's
didn't
so.
Isn't
Yes,
that
they
crazy?
had
Yeah.
more visitors than Google did this year.
I guess that doesn't surprise me.
It's
I mean, how do they
ridiculous
count
and
the
it
visits? Like,
terrifies
how do
me.
they count hits?
I know, that's
They
the
count-
one thing, right? Because if they're counting hits based on like how many times people open the app or whatever, right?
Right.
Obviously,
or even
more
like how many
people-
videos they watch. They're literally, I mean, they're short.
They're like
so
10-second
you could
videos,
consume
sure.
hundreds of them in a day, as opposed to how many times do you go to Google a day?
Yeah, right. I'm sure a lot of it depends on exactly how it's accessed, but it's still accessed more frequently than Google is, which is
In and of itself
ridiculous.
is just crazy.
Because it's my
Yeah, that is
understanding that
pretty
Google
wild.
has been the top for a long
sheer
time
volume.
now. Like many, many years.
Yeah.
Although obviously I guess it's slowly starting to drop as people switch over to different search engines like DuckDuckGo
DuckDuckGo.
and other stuff. 'Cause DuckDuckGo
That's
is
right.
based
Bing
on Bing.
search, Microsoft Bing search.
Oh
Everyone
my
that uses
god.
that.
Gross.
I'm sure there are people who do use it, older folks who have no clue and they're just using the built-in Microsoft garbage.
How
Yeah.
do I get on the internet? I love when people tell me they don't have an internet browser.
Yeah.
There'll be
Like,
times
you do, you just don't know what it is.
Yep.
there'll be times when I'm in Windows and I'll hit the Windows key and I'll type Visual Studio Code. Right?
Oh, I hate
and
this.
When I type
You said this in the
Visual
other
Studio all the way up to
Oh.
E,
Yep.
it'll open the app, but then when I finish it, it'll Bing it. Like,
yeah, right,
let that
exactly.
Bing.
You search the whole name of the app.
Fuck is Bing,
It pops
dude?
up the app until you type the last character, and then it searches it on fucking Bing. Why?
So and you know what my solution was?
Disable it through regedit or through
Disable the search.
GP edit, whatever.
Use
Yes.
Linux.
I mean, yeah,
Use
use
Linux.
Linux.
That's not a solution.
Listen, man, that's going to be my solution eventually, but I totally feel the whole. I wish Linux was a little more streamlined for the average user. Make it more
again,
like
my
Windows.
solution is just I dual boot. So I play games on Windows and I use Linux for basically everything.
Sure, but
else.
that
I'm on
takes
Windows
time,
right
and it means
now,
I have to shut
but-
down my computer in order to play the games that I want to play, and
Yeah,
I don't
but
really
my
feel
boot
like
time
doing
is
that.
6 seconds, so I don't care.
Yeah, I'm
But
lazy.
you have to quit out of all your applications.
Yeah, right,
and relaunch
exactly.
them.
Then I got to quit all my applications, deal with having multiple partitions. So if I have files
would
that I was
rather
using
do
in
that
Linux,
than
then I have to go
than use Windows
re-find them in
full-time.
Windows and deal with all that
Spin up a
garbage.
Docker instance.
Well, that was the other reason why I switched to Linux dual boot, because I was using Windows subsystem for Linux, and just when I was sitting idle, it was using 10 gigs of RAM. I'm
Wait,
like, what
what?
the fuck? I'm not using this for anything, and you're using up a third of my RAM for no reason.
That's
And on
like all of
Windows-
my RAM.
Well, that's the thing, is that like on Windows likes to randomly use half your fucking RAM. I'm using 40% RAM right now, and all I'm doing is Discord. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Windows, what are you doing? Meanwhile, on Linux, when I'm sitting at my desktop, I'm sitting at half a gig of RAM out of 32 in my system.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, I
start up
think
from-
Windows
when I
like
am-
allocates some RAM for itself is what it does.
Yeah, a
Like
lot.
it reads using 10 gigs because it's allocated, I don't know, 8 of those or whatever for it to use later and just shows it as being used, even if it's not actually in use. But that could be wrong because I'm not very well educated. I'm an idiot. Hello.
But like when I'm
I
at
admire
work
your
and I'm like,
confidence.
and I have Firefox up in like one desktop, and then I have like Discord, Spotify, and a couple other things in one, and I have VS Code in one. I max out at 6 gigs of RAM, like when I'm normally at work.
Yeah.
At most. Meanwhile, I do the
I
same
max
with
out at
Windows,
6
I'm using
gigs of
half my
RAM at work because that's all I have.
You have significantly fewer Chrome tabs than I do, apparently.
I would just cut out what?
Yeah, we lost you.
You have significantly fewer Chrome tabs than I do, apparently.
Well, I'm the type of person who doesn't like using crap loads of tabs. I would close them when I'm done with them. And
I
also I use
generally
Firefox.
do as
That's
well.
my other solution to that issue.
I will be trying to find a solution to a programming issue that I'm having, and just trying to find a solution to that issue, I will open 25, 30 tabs easily,
Oh my gosh.
trying to find different solutions.
Granted, you probably program way more complicated things than I do. For me, it's 1 or
still-
2 tabs at most, and there's my issue solved.
But
If I
like-
get to 6 and haven't found the answer, I give up.
Yeah, right.
Well, what I do is
I totally do that too, though. Like if I'm searching for an answer or whatever, and I haven't
No
found
one's done
something
this
by the
before.
second, like or third search, I'll totally just rephrase it, redo the search, or go back and try to think of a new way to accomplish this.
Yeah, be like, this isn't working.
This isn't working. Let's try a different way. Yep.
But like I'll like batch what happens, because like when you search on Google, like why does I don't know, insert Python thing here, right? How does
print work?
how does print work in Python? Like Reddit will come up, Stack Overflow will come up, and underneath Stack Overflow, the question will be the same, but like phrased 4 different ways. So I'll open each of those
It'll
up
say
in their
marked
own
as
tab.
duplicate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah, so I open up a ton of answers
Doesn't
at the
matter
same
what question you
time.
ask, it's automatic.
That
Yeah,
Stupid for
actually.
asking this.
You're an
Quit
idiot.
bothering us.
Yeah. Good old Stack Overflow. Used to be a good community, and now we're just like, oh my god,
did.
you're an idiot.
When?
Oh my god, you're so stupid. Well, check this one that's barely even related. Oh my god, what do you think we're doing your homework for you or
I
something?
mean,
you stupid
Stack
idiot.
Overflow wrote 20% of my code, but it never did it nicely.
What are the losses? Yeah,
There was-
exactly.
What
There
community
was
is
an
not this way
extension
though?
for VS Code that would let you look up Stack Overflow posts within VS Code.
What
as a
about
poor man's
GitHub
Copilot.
Copilot? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was no, that's literally what they advertise itself as a poor man's Copilot.
I mean, I
But they
like
didn't
it.
trademark
Or let me
that
phrase that. I don't have a GitHub account Copilot.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much just give you it now. Like you just sign up and they'll give you one of their like an access to Copilot
Very good. Good
in
to
like
hear.
a few days.
Makes it easier for people to
It's a ghost
program
walking through
things.
H-top.
Oh.
Just cut that part out.
No, I refuse.
Sure, Haley doesn't want to be on the podcast.
Literally,
Oh,
there's-
she's been-
outline was.
She's been on the
walking-
podcast this whole time.
Yeah, actually, your
Yeah.
background doesn't work, and yeah, we can just see clearly through your background.
Yeah, thanks NVIDIA. Done screwed up.
All
I don't
right, well,
have
we
a
need
better
we
place
need
to
one
go.
more strong topic to end this on because we've all just gone silent now.
What's your favorite
Fine.
hobby you picked up after school?
After school hobby.
Spent all this time doing work in math and all these classes. We're done with all this. Now you got all this free time. Well, you just got a job
Yeah.
to fill your time and sleep. What else?
Well, I watch way too much YouTube, which is horrible for my health. I'm almost certain.
Yay!
But I'll go with one of the hobbies that I picked up from high school, which is FPV. It's so incredibly fun to just become a fighter pilot and fly your little quadcopter at 90 miles an hour just around a field or whatever. Like, it's got a camera on the front of it. It live streams that with practically no latency to a pair of goggles on my face.
You feel so fast too,
Yeah,
because you're
right,
so
you're-
tiny in comparison to how fast you're going.
Yeah, it's fast and
limber.
freeing because you can just fly around. Like, there's no limit, just gone and, like, fly through trees and through whatever little areas and get better, do loops, become a fighter pilot. And it's really, really fun. It's something that I enjoy. The problem is
Oh,
the
yeah?
FAA is trying to regulate it out of existence.
Yeah.
but,
Do you have a license?
Legally, I cannot answer this question.
Never
Please
mind.
the fifth.
You only use it on private property. Got it. And
Yes.
not within airspace. I don't know
Well,
what.
I
above the
shouldn't say
ground.
yes because, again, I'm not going to answer this question. Sure.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Yes, I do have a
Okay.
license.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different licenses you can have. So there's one that you need in order to like make money off of it.
Yeah, Part 107 if
Yeah,
you're going
Part
to make
107.
money or fly over people, I believe.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I have the one below that though.
Yeah, there's like the pay $5 so that you can permanently go on a publicly searchable list saying that you have a drone
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
I did that.
It's so stupid, by the way. That's very dumb.
Oh, apparently,
your airspace.
no, because
You own
race
the air
day
above your
quads.
house?
Race Day Quads, one
I
of the
think you do, but-
main people in the FPV
How high?
industry, or at least one of the big American companies in the
Up at
FPV
400
industry,
feet.
is suing the
Yeah.
FAA over their remote ID legislation. Because, and like in the court thing, one of the judges asks the FAA, so if somebody has a drone and they have a whole bunch of land, like 180 acres or whatever, and they want to fly that drone over their land and their land only, do they have to like have this remote transmitting thing on their drone? And the FAA is like, well, yeah, duh, obviously. And the court is like, well, how is that constitutional? That seems like an invasion of privacy. And they're like,
Yeah, they didn't mention any drones in the Constitution.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, at
It's a
least with
whole
guns, they
thing.
have an argument.
It drives
Yeah,
me
that's right.
insane. There's just so much fear mongering over, oh my God, well, you could use drones to drop bombs on people, but the only people using drones to drop bombs on people are the federal
Amazon.
government.
Oh.
So, I don't
That'd be
know,
another
man.
good topic to talk about with Rob.
That would, no, with Bobby.
Oh, with Bobby?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes. But that's my fun hobby. How about yourself, Alex? Anything interesting that you do?
I think my most favorite one was I did. I got used to drinking in college. I learned how to,
Mm-hmm.
but
As you
I
do.
started getting more and more into mixology. So I found some really fun cocktail recipes. Started to explore a lot of new liquors. I never really drank much whiskey in college, so I got to kind of learn about different types.
The only
And,
alcohol I have at the moment is whiskey.
Well, see, maybe it's time to branch out. You ever had like a couple whiskey cocktails? You ever have like an
Actually, I don't think I've ever
Manhattan
mixed
sour?
whiskey with anything. I should probably
Dude,
try
whiskey
something
sours are
like that.
fucking amazing.
That's
love
that's my
whiskey
go-to.
sours.
If I don't know what else the bar has, I'll go get a whiskey sour.
Super easy to make. You can substitute almost anything. You can use whatever whiskey you like. You can use gas station whiskey if you're mixing it well enough.
I used
Yo,
bourbon
bro,
last
I'm just
time I
gonna
made
use
one.
gas station
Yeah.
diesel. I think it's gonna be perfect.
Gas
Pour
station
some
diesel?
gasoline
Oh,
in
no.
there.
Don't
Hey,
recommend
did-
that.
Mm.
I mean, I'll
I
throw in that
typically
I've
use,
been into home
um,
brewing for a little while. I haven't brewed anything recently, and the last two things I made
Oh,
were
yeah. I
absolutely
had a friend that made some
horrible.
good brews. He
But
shared them with us. They were
yeah.
pretty good.
What do you usually use, Quentin,
I typically use Jim Beam.
for your whiskey
Mm.
sours?
I'm not sure I was
Yeah,
a
I
huge
You
fan
like
of
rum
Jim
and Coke a
Beam.
lot too, don't you? Or whiskey Coke?
Also a good one.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Jack Daniels.
I mean, all the really popular ones, honestly, I recommend going to your local liquor store and finding either something local.
Well, they have the little $1 bottles. They're like this big.
Yeah.
You can try whatever you're into. I recommend don't spend
like
more
Jim
than
Beam.
like $60 unless you're trying to
I've got a
impress
thing
somebody.
of I got a thing of Glenmorangie and a thing of Jameson. The Jameson's quite nice.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing the bottle.
Yep.
So I
Number
have
one
a-
fan, right? Yeah.
I bought a bottle of what's called Diplomatico.
Okay.
It's rum that's aged in whiskey barrels.
It sounds
Oh,
good. I
okay,
haven't
yep.
heard of it, but it certainly sounds good.
So
It's-
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
Yeah.
It's rum.
I mean,
but
I got
it
a
has
friend who's
strong
basically
whiskey
addicted to
taste,
Fireball.
obviously for obvious reasons.
What kind of rum is
Um,
it? Is it like dark or light?
It's darker rum.
Okay.
And that is pretty expensive, but I can justify buying a pretty expensive bottle once in a blue moon.
Yeah, if you're gonna enjoy it, why not?
I
If it's
rarely
gonna
drink,
last a
so
long
yeah.
time, too.
Yeah, it sits
You
in
don't
my
drink a lot of
freezer
whiskey at a time, I hope.
Yeah.
unless I bite my phone.
Oh, yeah. That was another story.
That was another
Yeah, I
story.
remember
I think it was
Podcast
episode
1, I
one or
think,
two
the
that you
first
told
one.
that
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
One of the previous episodes. Go watch that.
Oh, man.
Can no longer drink Jim Beam Red Stag. I can, but it's not a
Even
good
though I
idea.
love
The-
Red
the
Stag. It's so
swirl.
very smooth.
I still haven't seen the swirl.
Huh?
We did demonstrate it with water.
Yeah, I
Oh,
wanted to see
man.
this swirl mechanism.
Oh, with the
chug a
straw
bottle.
where you
with
stick
the
the
air-
straw
with
on the bottom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
straw,
so you can
yeah.
drown it.
Heard a lot about it.
Airflow.
We're gonna have to invite him on again for a podcast in the future and demo this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demo this in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whom stuff?
Well, everyone here.
Everyone here, yeah.
I was gonna say I thought I was a part of this.
No, I'm sorry, Quinn. You've
Sorry.
been voted off the island.
Memes.
Oh man.
Well, what's everybody else been doing? Come on, get your
Kyle,
Well,
get in on
I'm-
there. Get in on there,
Well, that's
Chandler.
the thing. I'm still in school, so like I don't think I can talk about it.
What have you been doing over break?
Yeah, right.
Well,
You
over
got
break,
a
I've
month.
just been playing a lot of games and like coding. That's pretty much it. Like
As you do. You got to numb your brain after a
I've
I've
semester.
been playing
like
a
that, I'm
lot more
sure.
games than I
Yeah.
did normally, like during the school year though.
Yeah.
Because like I guess I was like on vacation, so I'm like I don't.
And then there's me. I don't play any games. It's still the same as all the other podcasts. I've said it like 18 times now.
Well, what are you doing instead other than drone flight?
Drone.
and
I haven't even done a lot
numbing
of
his brain with
drone
YouTube.
stuff. I mean, I guess a lot of it at this point has been focusing on casual coders. I've spent a good amount of time editing podcasts and looking through
yeah, it's my
stuff,
fourth
exporting
job.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. My second job. And then I've been in work. I've been working, so work, and then watching YouTube
But you never
videos.
stopped. You did a
and-
co-op last semester instead of going to school.
Yes, I'm actively co-op for the next undetermined period of time. and
Are
then
you
I'm
gonna be?
going to school.
You're going to school next semester though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that I'm the privacy person, right? I do not willingly give information about myself out on the internet.
Never said where you work.
Hmm?
I didn't say where you work, but yeah.
Yeah.
And like I mean, like I said, I'm a very open.
You're a very
person on
open
the internet,
person. And then
so-
there's me. Like, yeah, I don't know how TikTok works or Instagram or Facebook or anything. I
okay,
barely know
it's-
how Discord works at this point.
I'm open, but I never use social media. It's weird because like if someone asks me or like on my GitHub, I'll put whatever, but like anywhere else, I don't really touch it.
Even then,
It's very
I'm-
hard because people's definition of don't use social media is very different.
It
Some
really
people are
is.
like,
what do
Yeah,
you
right.
define
Someone
as
could be like,
social
I don't
media?
use social media, and they're posting 3 things to TikTok a day. And
Yeah.
then there's me.
You spend a
who
lot of
has
time on
never
YouTube.
used it
That's
ever.
technically social.
it is.
It
It,
is te-
absolutely is social media.
I
YouTube
view it
is
as
almost
tracking.
becoming
I'm
a
not sure
Netflix
it's
for
social
Facebook.
because it's not like I'm
But you can't
interacting
comment on
with anything.
Netflix. You already said this. Didn't you say this in the last podcast or another one
Yeah.
about like the difference between them?
Yeah, basically every one of our podcasts is exactly identical.
Yeah,
It's
right.
always
Each
circles back
podcast
to
is
that.
identical. We do need to probably work on the variety a little bit, but that's
Well,
okay.
during the
So-
break, I'll figure out some more new topics to talk about.
That's probably a good idea because I would love to get lunch. So,
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of hungry too. So maybe
Kyle, you
let's
mentioned.
call
Did you
this one
mention?
here. Let's call this one here. This will be the end of episode 5. And then
Yeah,
we'll
episode
go into-
5.
Thanks for staying tuned, everyone, including me.
You're gonna be watching it later.
Yeah, man, the podcast is just so boring that I fell
Thank
asleep
yourself.
halfway through. I don't even know what's going on
Just
anymore.
wanted to say thank you to our number 1 fan. Me.
You're
You
shouting
watching this out in
yourself
the future. I love it.
Just
Oh, that's so good.
on
Oh
the back.
man.
My arm hurts. Jeez.
Yeah, holding yourself up. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the Casual Coders podcast for this week. This is all of us good folks signing out.